Good evening. As you heard, my name is Wendy Toyer, and I have the honor and privilege of being the Executive Director of the ALS Society of British Columbia. It is my great honor to introduce you tonight to our celebrity MC, who's also a very good friend of ALS BC. Global BC's Michael Newman has an extensive TV experience and a passion for community reporting, having spent 5 years hosting New Mexico True Television. His time there earned him a regional Emmy Award. In his role on Global BC Community Reporter, Michael continues with local communities by covering events and local campaigns in the Lower Mainland and around BC. Michael was the news reporter for the ALS Society of BC Project Hope multimedia campaign. His passion lies in music, production, yoga, and mindfulness. Please welcome this evening's MC, Michael Newman.
Thank you, Wendy, and welcome to the ALS Society of British Columbia's Volunteer Award Ceremony. Tonight, we are honoring amazing people who give of themselves in service to people living with and affected by ALS in BC and the Yukon. The first award will be introduced by the newly elected president of ALS BC, Sheldon Cleaves.
Thank you, Michael. I'm honored to be presenting the award for Virtual Walk to End ALS Top Fundraiser in the individual category. In 2020, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Canada-wide ALS signature event, the Walk to End ALS, had to be held virtually. Walkers were encouraged to form a small team and walk in their neighborhoods, practicing physical distancing of 2 meters. Proceeds from the virtual walk are designated to patient service programs provided by ALS BC and the Canadian ALS Research Program. The top individual fundraiser was Carrie Winkler, who raised over $28,000. Having been involved in coordinating a few walks myself, I know how challenging it can be, let alone during a worldwide pandemic. Well done, Carrie. Carrie resides in West Vancouver with his wife, Wendy. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Carrie has pre-recorded an acceptance speech, and he has his award with him right here. So just get that started.
This reward for me is only possible because of the amazing network of family, friends, and associates. I was humbled by the generosity of so many, and it is a testament to the reputation and credibility of the ALS Society of BC that has garnered such great support for their programs, including Project Hope. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Carrie. Our next presenter is located in Peachland and will be joining us via Zoom. She is the secretary on the board of ALS BC and is a volunteer facilitator for the Kelowna Living with ALS Support Group and the BC Virtual ALS Caregivers Support Group. Please welcome Louise Adderley.
Thank you. I have the honor of presenting the award for the Virtual Walk to End ALS Top Fundraiser, the team category. Now, Daryl Borsato is the president and CEO of Diablo Nutrients and Quick Grow Canada. Each year, Quick Grow holds an annual 420 fundraiser barbecue for charity. In 2020, they chose the ALS Society of BC as the charity. Besides matching all donations from the barbecue by donation at each store, he and his wife, Chrissy, personally matched all donations that came in through the Virtual Walk to End ALS Team Quick Grow link on the ALS BC website. The total raise was $23,355. Just to add, Daryl is also a member of the Kelowna and Area Support Group, and he's a great support to others. And I have to say, he brings a real upbeat energy to the group. So the recipient of the top virtual walk to end ALS BC, Team Quick Grow, led by Daryl Borsata of Kelowna. Daryl.
Thanks, Louise, and thanks to ALS BC for this really cool award. It will find a cherished place in my home. I wrote something, so it's not quite off the top of my head, but I'll read it. On behalf of me, my wife, Chrissy, and the entire Team Quick Grow, we are honored to accept this award. We wouldn't be receiving this award if it wasn't for the hard work and amazing generosity of our family, friends, staff, and customers. In a time when a global pandemic was hitting all of us hard, they shone through by raising both money and awareness. As an ALS patient myself, I have come to truly understand the strength within the community. And at the center of that is the ALS Society of BC. With a passion for both research and through their equipment loan program, they're an invaluable resource in navigating an already difficult journey. Through being part of our local support group, as well as being an advocate for myself and other patients, I have firsthand witnessed the level of compassion and unwavering support the ALS Society brings to patients. If there is one thing that can be said about ALS, it's that everyone's journey is different. My own journey is unique in that I have an SOD1 mutated form of the disease. In fact, I am the fourth person in 3 generations to be affected by ALS. While it is devastating to know that I've lost my mother, uncle, and grandfather to this horrible disease, it is also a great source of strength and courage. I am following in some pretty big footsteps. I am also blessed that my wife, Chrissy, is always by my side. I know that her love is unwavering, and she is always ready to battle by my side as we face the many difficult challenges along this journey. Whether it's visits to GF Strong or flying to Montreal on 16 different flights during a pandemic to do clinical trials for a new drug, she is always there as my biggest supporter. When I first started showing symptoms in my right leg 5 years ago, I was like everyone else, and I dismissed it as anything but ALS. It wasn't until a year later when I had my first EMG that it really became a reality for me. The neurologist looked at me and said it wasn't just in my right leg, it was in both legs. That was one of the most devastating moments of my life. I had no idea that 4 years later I would still be walking, although with the help of my bionic ankle foot orthotics, of course, or that I would still be here at all. That is the grim reality that all ALS patients face, and the strength and courage I see in them to stand up and fight this disease never ceases to amaze me. So on behalf of my wife and the rest of the Quick Grow team, I once again want to say that we are honored by this award. I really can't say that enough. But what I can say is that I am stubborn and determined, and Chrissy and I will see all of you next year when we make it a double. Thank you.
Congratulations, Daryl and Team Quick Grow. To present the next award, I am pleased to introduce Norm Louis, the treasurer of the ALS Society of BC.
Thank you. I'm here to present the Exceptional Fundraising Program Award, third party. The purpose of this award is to evaluate and recognize excellence in fundraising programs implemented during the previous 12 months. This award recognizes an individual or project team who has demonstrated excellence in fundraising. This can be a new or continuing program. When his father, Greg Smith, was diagnosed with ALS, rather than sitting back and remaining idle, Aidan Bates Smith took it upon himself to make a difference. Aidan started the Sea to Sky ALS Rally. In 2020, he raised $11,000 for Project Hope. To increase awareness, drivers were distributed Sea to Sky ALS Rally vinyl decals at registration. The rally started at the upper parking lot of Cypress Mountain en route for the Pemberton Airport. Upon arrival, drivers were directed to park along the north end of the driveway. Participants that chose to enter the quarter-mile drag race had the opportunity to call out another registered car for a shootout. If participants did not challenge another car, cars with similar stats were paired up to create the most engaging races possible. Plans for the 2021 rally are underway. Recipient of the ALS Society for BC Exceptional Fundraising Program Award is Aidan Bates Smith from West Vancouver.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to thank ALS BC for putting on this beautiful virtual ceremony, as well as presenting me with this award. Yeah, so I guess that's the kind of gist of my event. And obviously with my father being diagnosed in 2019, I took it upon myself to combine my passion for cars with a cause that has affected us all. And I really have to give a big shout out to Jeff Derby. I know he's on this call. He's been a huge advocate for me and has helped me along the way for this project to turn it into the event that it is today. I also want to give a big thank you to Bear Communications, who also helped ALS Action, because he's just a huge advocate for everything that's going on within this community. And the progress that I've made, as well as ALS Action, wouldn't be possible without him. So yeah, I'm excited for the future of this event. We've completely revamped the fundraising process as well as the event itself. And it's only up from here. So hopefully we'll be back again next year for some more good news.
Well done, Aidan. All the best for the 2021 ALS Rally. Please welcome Donna Bartel, immediate past president of ALS BC, to present the next award.
Hi, everybody. The Leader of Tomorrow Award recognizes youth and young adults under the age of 25 whom individually or as part of a group are making a difference in the lives of those living with ALS through their volunteer efforts. This award recognizes initiatives or efforts undertaken in the previous calendar year in support of ALS, including fundraising, advocacy, public awareness, or going above and beyond to care for an individual living with ALS by providing assistance, companionship, and support. And actually, my daughter, a little aside, my daughter was the first recipient of this award many, many years ago before I was, I think, even on the board. So it's fitting that I'm here presenting it too. And this time, this year, after working through the spring of 2020 to provide over 500 surgical caps for frontline workers with her family, and this Penticton teen started a fundraiser for the ALS Society in honor of her father, who was diagnosed with ALS 3 years ago. Annie Harries started to collect Purdy's Chocolates Christmas orders through a fundraising page. 25% of the sales went to support people living with ALS. Enlisting the support of her 8 siblings, $10,220 were raised. In her words, it's very near and dear to my heart. I think the ALS Society is doing good work helping families affected by ALS and also trying to find a cure. Recipient of the ALS Society of BC Leader of Tomorrow Award is Annie Harries from Penticton.
Hi, I just wanted to say thank you so much for recognizing me with this award, and I know that the help of the ALS Society for my family and my dad, it wouldn't be possible with everyone's support and fundraising, so I'm really thankful for that. Thank you.
The world is in good hands with the next generation of leaders like you, Annie. Congratulations. Here to present the next award to recognize a special partnership is Rena Mendoza, Manager of Donor Relations and Finance at ALS BC.
The purpose of this award is to recognize partners that support an event or a program of the ALS Society of BC. For 2020, the ALS Society of BC recognizes the Pacific Blue Cross Foundation supporting the Equipment Loan Program and the PGA of BC Golfathon for ALS. The Pacific Blue Cross Foundation proudly supports non-for-profit organizations in big and small communities across all 4 corners of the province. The foundation strives to improve the health and well-being for British Columbians. Commencing in 2020, the foundation's board of directors chose to support the ALS Society of BC for 5 years at $20,000 per year. To accept the award on behalf of the foundation is Mr. Jim Eicher, the chair of the Pacific Blue Cross Foundation.
First, I'd like to acknowledge that I am on the unceded traditional territory of the Wet'suwet'en Nation, and I'm a settler on their land, and I'm grateful that I can participate in this award ceremony on their land from my home here in Topley. First of all, I'd like to thank the ALS Society of British Columbia for their incredibly gracious recognition. I'm very honored to accept this award on behalf of Pacific Blue Cross and the Pacific Blue Cross Health Foundation. I'm very grateful to be part of the evening's award ceremony with so many other deserving recipients who've done some amazing work in support of those living with ALS, including many of the people here who also have ALS. At Pacific Blue Cross, everything we do is driven by our mission to improve the health and well-being for all British Columbians. And that's why we're so proud to be able to support organizations like the ALS Society of BC, an organization that is making a real and positive difference in the lives of the people and the families living with ALS in BC. And this year, again, as it was announced, we were again pleased to be able to sponsor the Golfathon for the ALS, which helps support the fantastic services that are offered at ALS Society. Programs like the Equipment Loan Program, which are crucial to enhance the quality of life for those living with ALS, as well as reduce the financial burden for families. I'd also like to take the time to extend a heartfelt appreciation to all of those people who have supported people and families living with ALS over the past year. And it's been a especially challenging year for so many British Columbians and people around this world. The challenges brought on by the pandemic have meant that contributions to organizations like the ALS Society are more important as forever. And for that, tonight's recipients and organizers is special recognition. Thank you for all that you do to improve the lives of these British Columbians that are affected by ALS. And I know how grateful I am and how grateful that we all are as an organization that we have the opportunity to continue to support the ALS Society of BC for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you to the Pacific Blue Cross Health Foundation for your generous support. To present the next 5 awards to recognize outstanding advocacy initiatives, please welcome Brad McKenzie, ALS BC Director and the Chair of the Advocacy Committee, and Jim Williams, ALS BC Director and Committee Member of the Advocacy Committee.
Good afternoon and welcome everyone. I'll start off just by my own personal comments. I'm honored to be here today and humbled to be in the presence of such greatness, these individuals who are the recipients of this evening's awards. Not only do you speak for us as a society, but you speak for the patients, caregivers, and everyone that's affected by this disease. Brad?
Thanks, Jim. I couldn't agree more. We've got a great group of people here today, all aligned to a singular cause. We've all been touched by this disease in various ways, and it means a tremendous amount to me that they're willing to take a stand to make a difference in the community. Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Brad. So I'm going to start with the first presentation. So this is the Exceptional Advocacy Award. The purpose of the award is to recognize an exceptional advocacy initiative that is sought to improve quality of life for a person or persons living with ALS during the previous 12 months. The award recognizes individual advocacy and/or initiatives that changes public policy to the benefit of people living with ALS. Annie Fang Wee and Richard Kuhn Yang supported the March 2020 ALS BC multimedia campaign through Chorus Entertainment, advocating for support for family caregivers. Annie is in Vancouver, living with ALS support facilitator, and despite the pandemic, continues to bring her group together monthly, arranging for speakers on topics suggested by the group. Annie and Richard were featured in the ALS Society of BC Giving Tuesday campaign. They advocate for people living with ALS to be considered in the phase 2 COVID vaccine rollout and encourage others to do so. It's my honor, pleasure, as it is Brad's, to honor the recipient of the ALS Society Advocates Award, Annie and Richard Fang of Vancouver. Congratulations and thank you.
Richard has a little speech.
Absolutely.
Talk. Hold on.
It is my honor to be recognized with an award from ALS Society of BC. 2015 summer was my first time to hear about ALS. I never thought such dramatic event would have happened to me. I was shocked in front of search results regarding this disease. Frankly, I did experience denial, anger, confusion, and depression. I wished it was a wrong diagnosis. But none of these emotions would help me to face the reality or slow down the progression. Fortunately, I have my wife as my backup. She is not only my soulmate but also a fighter, and always stands beside me, encourages me to face the difficulties and challenges. We both agree that we cannot control how long our life would be, but we can decide how we live. That is why we advocate as volunteers for all ALS patients and families. ALS does has significantly impact on our life and it cannot be cured. But at least we can choose what attitude to deal with it. Seize the present and enjoy the moment.
And I want to add a few quick words. Thanks to help from ALS Society, our health authority, and all of our family and friends, we have found a way to not only maintain independence and dignity, but also give back to others impacted by ALS. I want to take the opportunity to thank a very special person too. Richard, my dear husband, your love and trust give me the courage to start every day as new and to pursue a cause that is bigger than me. I've grown so much professionally too. Now I'm an unlicensed nurse, therapist, and a weightlifter. I'd like to share the most important learning in my life with everyone here. I have the courage to do what I do now because I choose to follow my heart, embrace the moment now, and stay true to what matters to me. To our families and in Chinese, 我们会一直珍惜当下，努力生活. Thank you.
Thank you. And the next presentation is going to be performed by Brad McKenzie.
ALS patient Carrie Winkler participated in the March 2020 ALS BC multimedia campaign through Chorus Entertainment. As ALS clinical trials are not currently available in BC, he enrolled in the Neurone trial in Los Angeles. At his own expense, he traveled 14 times in 1 year to LA to be part of this trial. Carrie was featured in a follow-up interview in the March 2021 ALS BC multimedia campaign to promote Project Hope to fund a professorship in ALS research at UBC. The fund will pay for a full-time ALS dedicated clinician scientist in perpetuity to ensure people living with ALS in British Columbia will have access to ALS clinical trials as they become available in BC. Carrie is on the executive committee of ALS Action Canada, a patient-led initiative to improve access to promising therapy for those living with ALS today. He also co-authored an advocacy paper titled The Plan to End ALS. The paper is titled The Plan to End Canada's ALS Crisis. Carrie also graciously gave me the opportunity to review a draft of that paper, to which I responded with, I think, a very long-winded and verbose 5 or 10 pages of commentary. And anybody who's willing to read that much feedback definitely deserves an award. The recipient of the second ALS Society of BC Advocacy Award is Carrie Winkler from West Vancouver.
Carrie's honored to receive the lovely award. He has that with him here, and he has prepared an acceptance speech.
Thank you for this recognition. I am humbled for receiving it as there are so many that do so much for our community. I can only hope that the efforts I have made will make some positive impact on the fight to end ALS. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that was wonderful. Thank you very much. And again, congratulations. The next presentation is to Dave Jeffries. Dave Jeffries paid it forward by advocating for other people living with affected by ALS. He shared his journey in the province and national multimedia campaigns to raise awareness about ALS and to support the programs and to serve service providers by the ALS Society of BC. Dave wrote about living with ALS in his book titled, "While We Pray for Miracles, God Gives Us Grace and Teaches Me to Number My Days." He has published articles in Faith Today magazine. In his recent book, The 6 Month Guy, he shares his ALS journey with courageous, intimate, and emotional transparency, and is open about the importance of his faith. He describes how ALS affected his family and friends and about the physical and emotional challenges of this disease. He shares the practical solutions he and his family had discovered in the hope of helping others living with ALS. Above all, the 6 Month Guy shows how life can be lived with grace despite even ALS. Today we have with us Robbie, one of Dave's children, who will be accepting the award on his father's behalf. The recipient of the ALS Society of BC Award goes to David Jeffries from Abbotsford.
Thank you for the honor of being invited to be here today. My name is Robbie Jeffrey, and I'm here with my mother, Susan, and my sister, Leanne, is also watching as proud representatives of my father, Dave Jeffrey, who unfortunately could not be here today. He did, however, leave a few words with us that he asked me to pass on to all of you, which I will share now. It's my father's words. "I am honored and grateful to be chosen for this award and grateful that my son is available to accept it on my behalf. In October of 2020, Wendy Toyer asked if I would be willing to write an article telling my story of ALS, and in particular, talking about the benefits of the equipment loan program. As a person with ALS whose home is full of equipment from the equipment loan program, I was only too happy to agree to this request. The equipment loan program is, in my humble opinion, an example of the best possible partnership between the public health system and a private charity. An occupational therapist is able to evaluate a person with ALS and then chooses from a wide variety of well-maintained equipment that would best suit the person's needs. The OT knows that the cost of shipping and setup are covered, so they can focus on any necessary training for caregivers. The person with ALS knows that they can count on using this equipment for as long as they need it. It is a true win-win situation made possible by funding from the ALS Society. In my recent book, The 6 Month Guide, I talk about various ways in which the Society has been a help to my wife and I during our journey with ALS. I hope that the book will continue to advocate for the ALS Society, its goals and projects, and to be a help to the community of people living with ALS in BC. Thank you for naming me as a recipient for this extraordinary advocacy award, and I'm honored to accept. Sincerely, Dave Jeffrey. So for myself, just to echo my father's words, it was a truly huge blessing to have access to the equipment which was provided by the ALS Society. For my mother and I especially, it was such an encouragement to know that as the stages of ALS progressed, that there was options available which could support us as we cared for our father in the home, which is what we needed at the time. We want to say thank you to the ALS Society for the support that you provide for families like ours, which benefit not only the recipient, but also serves to lighten the workload of caregivers in a meaningful way. Without the equipment that we were able to borrow from the ALS Society, we would not have been able to continue to provide care to our father in home as we did. So on behalf of the three of us, as well as my father, Dave, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Robbie. Very well said. And I know your father would be proud of you and your mother, of course, and your sister. So again, congratulations for that award. The next presentation is to Bob Bryant. Proactively searches for information about ALS, which he shares with others living with ALS. He attended an ALS seminar held in Salt Lake City, Utah, where he met others from around the world living with ALS. He is an active member of the Surrey Living with ALS support group and is a member of the ALS Action Canada, a patient-led initiative to improve access, promising therapies for those living with ALS today. Bob supports Project Hope and provided a testimonial which is featured on his website fundraiser page. Bob and his wife Karen were featured in Valentine's Day ALS Society of BC direct response campaign titled "Love Wins Against ALS." Bob was also interviewed on Global BC Morning News to support Project Hope. Please help me and round of applause for the recipient of the ALS Society BC Advocacy Award, Bob Bryant.
Thank you, and thank you very much for the award. I really am honored to receive it, and quite honestly, I'm humbled by it. There are so many people that I've met through ALS that have done so much for the cause, and I truly believe that they've all earned a big piece of it too. It takes a lot of people to make it all happen. The small bit that I've done has been really rewarding for me, and I do take comfort in the fact that I know that it will help other people down the road. I'd especially like to thank, of course, the ALS Society of BC, including Wendy Toyer and her amazing team for all the hard work and dedication that they contribute to the cause every single day. Without their help, we wouldn't be here today. And I'm really happy to be able to support them and to be a part of this in such an exciting time. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Bob. Once again, congratulations, and to Karen, who is sitting beside you, and a great advocate, obviously. But the next presentation is to Jeff Derby. It participated in an ALS clinic trial out of the Swedish Medical Center in Seattle, Washington. He too is an active member of the Surrey Living with ALS support group and a member of the ALS Action Canada, a patient-led initiative to improve access promising therapies for those living with ALS today. Jeff provided a testimonial which is featured on the website fundraising page for Project Hope. The Derby family has held fundraisers to support the project. Jeff and his wife Susan participated in the 2020 ALS Society of BC's Valentine's Day as well, direct response campaign, Love Wins Against ALS. The couple attended the press conference and launched the Project Hope held in Richmond. Jeff joined Bob in the recent Global BC Morning News interview to support Project Hope. The recipient of the ALS Society of BC Advocacy Award is Jeff Derby from Surrey.
Thank you.
Hi, Jeff.
Thank you so much for this award. I'm really surprised, didn't expect to win. I would like to call my family up from the audience to come up and join me. Thank you. And first, I would like to thank all the contestants, the Academy, my agent, of course, my family. What? Oh, sorry, wrong award. Sorry about that. Now, seriously, I do want to thank my family. My wife, Sue, daughters, Brittany and Danielle, and my son, Brandon, as I would not be able to be proactive and part of any advocacy groups without their support and research. We have learned so much over the last 3 years about ALS. Not something we were planning to do, but is certainly necessary and helpful. I also want to thank Wendy and her staff and the board of directors for moving forward and all the work they've done on Project Hope. It is so important to current and future patients to have a world-class clinic and be able to be part of trials in BC. We live in one of the most beautiful places in the world, and we need to have the same healthcare worthy of where we live. Over the past year, the ALS community has come together through groups like ALS Action Canada in order to expedite potential treatments and drugs after trials have concluded. One of my goals in the future is to continue to strengthen this relationship between ALS Action Canada and ALS Society of BC. I believe together we can continue to make real change for those living with ALS today and in the future. Next year's event, let's celebrate being able to meet in person and also the many improvements for those living with ALS. So on behalf of my family and myself, I'm honored to accept this award, and thank you very much. Thank you.
I am in awe of your courage and commitment to help others affected by ALS. You are all inspirational. Thank you and congratulations. Our final award this evening will be presented by the founder of the ALS Society of British Columbia. Please welcome Lifetime Director, Dr. Andrew Eisen, to present the award that bears his name.
Hello, hope everybody can hear me now. Good. So in 2017, the board honored me by starting an award in my name, the Leadership Development Award, the two important words being leadership and development. And at that time, that award was given to me by a lovely, beautiful, charming lady. And actually, she used to give all the awards at that time, stand up there for the, whatever it is, an hour and a half or so, and do all the awards. So I'm delighted to be able to give her this award in my name tonight, and that is Donna Bartel, our recent past president. As a past president, Donna is not a has-been. She's worked tremendously in the years, and she's been so inspirational. And Donna, you've gone through an awful lot this year with COVID, but we've come out the other side with Project Hope that's about to really take off. And that's so exciting. So I'm just so honored to give you this award in my name and wish you very well.
Thank you for making me cry. Dr. Eisen, I am incredibly humbled and honored to receive this award. 22 years ago, when my mom was diagnosed with ALS, I never, in my wildest thoughts, would have imagined that I would be here receiving the award that that bears Dr. Eisen's name. You know, Dr. Eisen, you've shown such leadership and devotion and dedication to ALS. Just everything you do is just incredible and so much appreciated. My contribution has been minuscule compared to you. So the fact that you've provided me with this award is amazing. And thank you, Dr. Eisen, and the rest of the board for this recognition. There you go. I'll treasure it forever. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So I have a little or a large surprise to end this evening. I was searching around the room because I wanted to give another award in my name. And I spoke to Wendy, and I think she checked with the executive that I'd be allowed to do that. And I want to give this award to, I think, the $1 million guy. Brad McKenzie is incredible. I wish I knew him better than I do, but I've learned to get to know him quite a bit over this last year. He's incredibly eloquent, and he's done so much for us in achieving our goal in Project Hope. So Brad, I want to give you this additional award in my name. I'm honored to do so. You're an inspiration to me. God bless you.
Well, that's a bit of a surprise, but I'm absolutely humbled by your willingness to do that, Dr. Eisen, and humbled by the recognition of everybody at the ALS Society of BC. But, you know, I probably sound like a broken record because we've heard this sentiment a few times already tonight. But we really are all in this together. And everything that we've ever achieved and everything we will ever achieve is only possible by the combined contributions that we've all decided to take upon ourselves and make happen. You know, this is a nasty disease. There's no debating that. But putting that aside, we can all make the best of whatever circumstance we have. And everybody in the room today has taken it upon themselves to be an advocate in one way or another for those who need it. I am gracious to receive this award on behalf of everybody who has contributed anything to this shared cause that we all have. Thank you very much, Dr. Eisen, and thank you very much to everybody else with the ALS Society of BC.
To quote William J. Clinton, volunteering is an act of heroism on a grand scale, and it matters profoundly. It does more than just help people beat the odds, it changes the odds. Congratulations to everyone honored here tonight. You are all truly an inspiration, and on behalf of the ALS Society of BC and myself, thank you and good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.